Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Between the Sharks. Somewhere under this pile of rubble is the Model T that started this whole channel. Let's go. One of the missions of this project was to put as much of this original Model T back on the road as possible. It's not a restoration, it's not a rat rod. Preserve all that it's been through, but still make it drivable instead of a piece of rusting away yard art. I spent a mountain of time thinking about this, and no plan has formulated in my brain pan. So we're gonna do the opposite of that and not think and just go for it. Guys, I am an idiot. I know, I can hear your surprise echoing through time and space. No, but really, yeah. Let me explain. For some reason, on this firewall project, my experience stopped letting me see the problem with any kind of fresh eyes. The last one of these things I built was a little roadster pickup. It was channeled over the frame, and as a result, I had to put in swing pedals because there was really no room under here for a pedal assembly. So I have been trying to figure out how I built that firewall system, why it was so easy. I don't remember it being troublesome at all. And the reality was, I did everything I could to make more room for the swing pedals. I removed the toe boards, I removed all of that stuff so that my foot could go as far towards the firewall without hitting anything as possible. 287 years ago, when I started doing this thing and making videos, I recall pulling the triangular support pieces out that hold the toe boards, saying this was for more foot room. It's accurate when you got a channeled car. I don't need to do that here. I need a toe board. Basically, I need a toe board to run up at the plane of the pedals and meet the firewall. So now that we've let go of the fog of experience, let's go ahead and build some hot rod for crying out loud. All right, gang, this is now much more clear about what we need to do. 15 minutes with cardboard was 15 minutes well spent. This is basically the toe board we need. Good news is we know what we're doing. Bad news is we don't have the steel to do it, so I'm gonna go work that out, and then we'll be back. Suppose that'll require a little bit of attention at some point. No matter, not right now. Let's go get some steel. Probably rides better without that shock anyway. There we go, team. We are all set. I got a stack of 16 and a stack of 18 that should get us through everything we need for the firewall, toe board, all that stuff. A couple of folks have noticed the area that I'm in. If you're in the area, check out C&J Welding and Fabricating. They are a steel supply as well. They'll be happy to help you if you're building something in this neighborhood. You got to keep those small businesses alive, gang. I think they're doing pretty well, but I love the convenience. They're real nice in there. They got all kind of stuff, and they'll fabricate for you if you need it. I think that's what it says on the side. Anyway, I buy my steel from them every time I can. All right, gang. I absolutely hate having to go get steel, but I love being at the steel supply. It's like imagination goes wild. It's a big, open, clean shop. They got all sizes and shapes of steel. You know, do a little cherry picking, and then I come back to this chaos in which I live because it's just who I am as a human. Got the template, got a couple notes on it. We could work it to make it perfect, but that's not what we're gonna do. I eyeballed this chunk. It looks about right. Nearly perfect. Simple enough. Guess we'll find out how accurate it was. So once you get to this point, that's your dancing partner, and you're the kid with 2 left feet trying to learn how to tango. Trimming a little bit, trimming a little bit, trimming a little bit, and then we'll shove it up far enough, and then we'll close the gap. Obviously you can see I cut out a chunk of my transmission tunnel because this thing is where I should have started. Keep moving it forward until we're at the plane where we need to move. So right now we're too wide, we're hitting the sides and we're hitting the pedals. Trim away, just trim away. Huh? We're miles ahead of where we were when we started. Many hours later. Sometimes you gotta make a trade. We're probably about an hour and a half of work in here. I had plenty of other things to do today that, you know, I had to go do. Well, gang, it's been fun to be working on this again, but the cruel irony of hot rodding strikes again. We worked completely backwards to end up exactly where we started. So we still have all of this to deal with, but we're in a much better starting place. It's going to be a jigsaw puzzle of your nightmares. Whatever. Wanging metal with a hammer till it fits, basically. I mean, the issue is we have this nice factory kind of rippled situation that disappears into a much smoother side here. This is kind of how it was accomplished from the factory. So maybe we'll, I don't know, maybe we'll put a part of it back in. Just how do we get back to a straight line, basically? We'll figure it out. It's what hot rodding is it not?
Well, it's Groundhog Day.
Another after work evening. We're here to put some fresh eyes on it and see how we're doing. And sure looks like we still have painted ourselves into a corner. But if that's not hot rodding, I don't know what is. So as this evolves, I don't mind welding the toe board to the firewall and all of that. I'd like to be able to leave the rolling chassis behind when we snatch the body out. I don't mind taking the steering column with it and breaking it at one of these joints here, but I don't want to have to undo the pedal assembly. I want to be able to just... So we got some, I was going to say engineering, but that would be a bit beyond. We have some calculated cobbling to do. Yeah. Guys, my glove is right here. Just forgot to put it on. Got me. Son of a... Now I'm prepared. Dang, guys. Right on the old trigger finger there. The glove was sitting right here on this tire, not on my hand. If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough. Gang, I am working at peak inefficiency, and I don't even mean how I'm puzzle piece cobbling this together. Check this out. My pathway from here to over there involves, you gotta pass by the 4-post lift. You stay to the right at the fork of the welder, past the 350, this bag of welding pieces that go to the cinder welder. Steer clear of the hammer drill that is placed precariously there, and the booby-trapped chainsaw. Then you can cruise your way over to the makeshift work table I have set up. And if that's not dumb enough, we're running off one 120 volt extension cord that I keep moving from the welder to the grinder to the snipper things. But the reality I'm living in is I have been so unmotivated to work on this thing that I'm not gonna waste it. I'm not gonna miss a second of that. For some reason, I'm into tackling this project, even if I do it the dumbest way I can think of. I just don't want to find a reason to stop. Like, yes, cleaning up the shop would make my life a lot easier, but that, who knows? I just might give up on that, and then, well, then I'm not working on this either. I'm gonna try to not hurt myself any further while I work this obstacle course, but I want to keep pressing forward. It's been a while, gang. For you old school people that have been watching the channel, thank you so much, but you know, it's been a minute. Time traveled again. we gotta wrap this thing up because A, we gotta wrap this thing up, and B, I gotta get this video out so you Between the Sharks craving fiends have a video on Sunday. I'm just kidding. There's no such thing as that, but I do appreciate you watching. Let's get after it. Knocked out some more kindergarten level arts and crafts here. Not knocking any kindergartners, gang. I'm aspiring at this point. Basically feel like I'm continuing to complicate the situation. Well, this isn't Make It Custom, gang. This is Between the Sharks. So here we go. It's like riding a bucking bronco. I was gonna say if you're not careful, but the reality is it's, even if you are careful, you know, we'll just eyeball that. We don't know what we're doing. Great, googly moogly, just give it up. Perfect. That's really hot. And I'm still gonna touch it though, because I'm a genius. Come on, come on. Hi-ya. Hot and sharp. They make gloves for that. Still rocking a single extension cord. I don't know why. Well, there's the right way to do stuff, gang, and the way that I'm doing it. It's probably a good time to turn this off and turn on Make It Custom. So on this project, a sheet metal brake and a sheet metal shear sure would have come in handy. How's that for a tongue twister? But I don't know myself. If I had those tools, they'd be buried under 28 other tools, and I'm doing exactly what I'm doing now, which is using a 2x4 and a couple clamps and a hammer. You gotta know yourself, gang. Changing who you are as a human is not done best when mid-project. Hammers go here. That's where the hammer goes. Have you used it lately? This is a little guy. Is this little guy gonna do it? Let's see if this little guy will do it. Little guy don't mess. Probably didn't need a 90. You were a firewall. That might actually work. I feel like I gotta pull all this apart. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can get this out easy. Guys, I was working real hard to be lazy, but I found what might be an easy way, so we're gonna try it. Sometimes easy means use a hammer, though. Hi-ya! 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 Perfect. Easy. You guys get a front row seat right there. I mean, now that I've taken it apart, I don't know if it's in the right spot, but you know what I'm saying. All right, now that we succeeded here, Now, I was right, we gotta un-90 it a little bit, but while we're at it, that thing I just did, what with the hammer and all, if I'd welded that support bearing in to my steering column situation, I'd be pulling the whole steering column back in order to undo our situation, or dropping the steering box for taking out the front half. So, like I'm saying, you'll see a lot of people on the internet weld them on. Well, that's why I don't. I never get it right the first time. Perfect. And I've done my traditional. I've gone ahead and sliced my hand open. That's reminding me I have gloves. Safety first. All right, we're kind of sneaking up on a thing. We just got to will it to be so. And willing it to be so is going to require a hammer. Shockingly, this is kind of the right apparatus for the operation. The ball peen hammer. This high-dollar metal shaping tool is really just my umbrella holder from a hot dog stand truck, but it should do some version of the trick. Whack it. Get my steps in. It is a sad state of affairs, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to count steps as human beings by using technology. There we go. We got to bend it a lot. How to work backwards using a hammer. trim I do, trim I don't. Great. So in a weird way, as crappy as this is, it's the closest we've ever been to sort of being on the way to solving the problem. Boy, howdy. We're just gonna continue the circus at this point. Fire up the Calliope, get yourself some popcorn. I think I gotta weld this section in onto the firewall, at least a couple tacks. In a very uncomfortable maneuver, I'll cut it loose from the toe board, and then, in theory, we can pull the firewall back out. Should we succeed in that part of the mission, we will have a firewall and a toe board as two separate units that do, in fact, support each other, so that, most importantly, the firewall can stay with the car and the toe board can come out, and then we can remove the body from the chassis if we need to, which I think we're gonna need to at least one time, you know, hopefully never again, but. Team, I can't get nothing right today. Well, all week I've been kind of doing this in tiny little pieces when I have time. Instead of giving up, instead of stopping and thinking, instead of stopping and cleaning, I'm just powering through this. Every minute I've been out here, I've just been struggling. I'm gonna put you in high-speed mode and do some of the ugliest welding I've done in a long time, and we just gotta make a thing. I just got to make a thing, you know? So let's do it. All right, sports fans, she's looking worse than the stitching on Frankenstein's neck, but it's progress, right? We were never building a show car, just got to get this firewall to be a complete thing. Hey, bud, there's the dog. Dog, what are you doing? Waiting for me? Okay. Nothing that 5 pounds of welding wire, $100 worth of grinding discs, and a full tank of argon CO2 mix can't fix. Speaking of Frankenstein, though, Saturday night, which means my Svengoolie program is gonna come on. Dog and I love watching Svengoolie. We're gonna go do that, and I'm gonna give this hell. Sunday morning, we're gonna get her done. Me maybe. I don't know. It's also a very good time to say thank you for watching this program and checking it out. I'm a very small fish in a very big pond, and there are a lot of people out there trying real hard to make something entertaining or educational or whatever for everybody out there. So thanks for watching the small channels, and thanks for subscribing if you do, because it helps us all out, and we're all figuring it out as we go. So
it is tomorrow.
Smells like Sunday morning. You guys ever feel behind on your hobbies or side projects? It's Sunday morning, but this video's got to be out in 7 hours, and I probably have 5 hours of editing to do and more than 2 hours of work left to turn this into anything. So we need to boogie. Well, shockingly, we got a test fit, and first glance, we're not looking too bad. We got to do a little radiusing around the transmission. I guess when I had that thing fall out and put it back in and fall out, I didn't get it exactly where it used to be, but honestly, it doesn't even look as bad as I thought. We got plenty of grinding to do. It's cobbled up, but I mean, come on. you know what we're doing here. Not sure if your minds are as blown as mine, but we are, well, we're nearly accomplishing something, which is unusual on this car. So, yeah, I think at this point, I'm gonna use the last 2 decent grinding wheels I have, clean it up the best I can. We'll install it, we'll trim the foot, install it and trim the toe board to fit, see what happens. It might even work. Gang, I can hardly believe it with my own 2 eyeballs. If you've been following the channel since the beginning, thank you so much, but you'll also know what I'm talking about here. We kind of mostly have a firewall. It clears our pedal assembly that we built and added to this car. It should clear our steering. We can always open that up a little bit if we need to. And I believe it will clear the distributor. So maybe we can get into that next to absolutely confirm that, but a lot of this work was based on making sure we could get the distributor in and out so that we didn't have to like dismantle the car to deal with an ignition issue. May not be my best work, but I'm still really thrilled that there is this much original Model T stuff still attached to the car. Given some of the cobbling together I did, I still like the way this looks better than if I built a nice clean one from scratch. It's 97 years old. 97 years old. That's so cool. So that's the coolest thing about this car. That's the part I want to lean into more than anything. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing if you've subscribed. And we're going to try to get more on this. We've still got all the other projects. They've all got to keep going. At this point, I think I got to figure out how to do 2 videos a week. Don't know how I'm going to do it, but I think I got to try because we've just got too many things to do. So stay tuned, gang. We have a lot more to do on this, and we've got a lot of other projects going on. We've got so much work at the other property. All the other cars all kind of need some work, but I don't want to let this project fall to being completely back-burnered. Maybe I can do a Model T video midweek and the rest of my life videos sometime on Sundays. It's busy around here, gang, working full-time and doing this stuff. But put it in the comments. If you think you want to follow this project, maybe I can do, I don't know. It's ambitious, but if you're interested, I'll try. Anyway, good luck on your projects out there, and we will see you next time on Between the Sharks. Man, oh man, this opens a lot of avenues. It's great.